Hello, welcome or welcome back to Sapling Tarot. My name is Imogen. Today we're going to be doing a video about the decks, etc. that YouTube, TarotTube in particular, made me buy. Now, because I'm a very literal person, I do have to give the caveat and disclaimer. No one made me buy any, obviously. I am an adult human being with autonomy over my own wallet and my own tarot collection, and no one, put a gun to my head and said, you simply must buy this tarot deck. All of these decks were bought entirely of my own volition. If I make any jokes about people being enablers, if I make any flippant references to people convincing me, please know it is all meant very lightheartedly and in jest. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into this lovely little bag of goodies. I'm going to go in chronological order, and I'm actually starting with a deck that I was introduced to by one of the first, if not the first, person here on TarotTube that I watched, which is Anna over at Astral Lady Tarot. And the moment I saw these cards, I fell irrevocably in love with them. I think the artwork is, this may be the deck that I feel in my collection is actually the most beautiful. I think that all of my decks are beautiful in their way, but I think visually, aesthetically, this is probably the deck that I get the most dramatic reaction to, in terms of the visual beauty of it. I think it was the first collage deck I ever saw. Have I said what it is? I mean, it does say on the box, but this is the Ritual Tarot. I have the unmarked edition with the Lust card. So I think this is maybe like the second or third edition of it. As with most of my decks, this is like a bashed secondhand copy. But I mean, I would be hard pressed to tell you where the flaw was in it. Yeah, I've watched Anna's videos for a long time. I think that she has some incredible insight, and I like the kind of tags that she does if she ever does them, but generally I just kind of like listening to her talk. I think while we have maybe quite different styles in terms of, maybe more broadly the kinds of decks that we are attracted to, this kind of style just grabbed me by the lapels out of the screen the first time she showed it. And I know it's one of her favourites, and I think everyone that has it, it kind of becomes one of their favourites quite quickly. It's so powerful. The imagery is just incredible. I find it really inspiring, artistically. I find it really inspiring from a tarot practice perspective. I find it really engaging, and there's a depth to it that is just, I don't know, it's quite hard to exactly put it into words, which is really good when you're trying to film a YouTube video about it. And you've probably seen it before. It's kind of a bit of a lovey here on TarotTube, but I think it's wonderful. I know that collage decks are becoming, or have become, quite a big thing. I know that I have the Goddess of Love Tarot, which is a mass market collage deck. I There's the Tantric Dakini, which is like an old one, which I think is maybe digital collage. And there's the Voyager Tarot. And these aren't exactly new decks, but this was the first one that I ever saw. And then the other deck that I'm just going to show while we're here speaking of Anna is her Magickal guidance cards, which I use all the time. I bought these on a bit of an impulse because I wanted to support Anna's first kind of deck adventure, and I thought that this was a really unique and special idea. It's my first make playing cards order. I didn't really know what to expect, but I use these cards all the time. I did a big reading at the end of last year, doing kind of like a big year ahead thing, and I pulled one of these per calendar month, and I have been using them every month as kind of like a jumping off point of inspiration of things to research and things to think about. And I've currently got 3 of the kind of ink and art cards up. I had the 2 moon cards, I think they're probably at the back. Yeah, I had these 2 up for the month of April, and I just find them really inspiring. There are so many ways to use them. I suppose like there are any deck, but I cannot recommend these highly enough. If you're not kind of like a magical sort of witchy person, they make a really great like oracle deck as well. And the pictures are just really stunning. But yeah, so these are my 2 Astral Lady Tarot inspired purchases. As best as I can, I'm going to do these in like chronological order of people that I was introduced to on TarotTube, maybe not the order in which I purchased them because I cannot remember. So the next person is the lovely Kelly Bear, and Kelly Bear, wow, okay, so she has 4 things here. 2 decks and 2 pouches, because I also wanted to show you the if I have them, then like other ways that these people have kind of influenced me, or I've like purchased from in other ways. So I'll start the other way around this time since they're out. But Kelly Bear, as you probably know, makes these incredible tarot pouches, and I'm lucky enough to have 2 of them. I also have a bookmark and a jacket patch, but I don't know where I've put the bookmark. It's in a notebook, and the tarot patch, well, the jacket patch is on my jacket. So these are the pouches. This one contains the Fyodor Pavlov tarot, which is a deck that I kind of associate with Kelly Bear as well. And then this one you may have seen on my channel before is the Goddess of Love tarot. That's where this one lives because of the pink. And yeah, I think that works really well. But yeah, they're amazing. They're really practical, but really beautiful and really soft. And I love the charms, and she has such a gorgeous eye for colour and design. And I love seeing all of her new shop drops and little creations. So yeah, so those are the pouches, and these are the decks. Because this is like a TarotTube video, I wanted them all to be tarot decks, but I also couldn't go without talking about the Thistledown Oracle because I had seen it out and about in places, because I love this sort of, I don't know, kind of like storybook nature artwork stuff. I grew up with the Flower Fairies and Brambly Hedge and all of that kind of, even like Percy the Park Keeper and things. And there's that same kind of like comforting illustration style to it. And yeah, after seeing it a number of times crop up on Kelly's channel, I mean, this is the card. This is the one. This is the card that made me buy this deck, and I think that would be quite a good video at some point. But yeah, so the Thistledown Oracle is the honourable mention for decks that I was inspired to purchase because of Kelly. But the tarot deck is this beautiful beast, and it is a hunky chunky Marseille-ish deck. It is really like bold, kind of almost tattoo style illustrations, and I think it's quite kind of clean line sort of vector graphics, but I think it is just fantastic. It's not like my usual colour palette, I guess, but been doing Marseille for May, inspired by Sylvie at Tarot Magpie, who we will get to shortly, and yeah, this deck has been, I mean, it's just such a clear reader. The majors are like, they're not their own thing, but yeah, so you've got like the swallows, kind of like tattoo things, but then the minors are like the proper Marseille shapes, orders. I'm not squeaking my worms very well today. But yes, they also have these lovely backs. Configuration. They are the correct configuration to be an actual Marseille deck. So this is my Kelly Bear deck. So speaking of Tarot Magpie, Sylvie at Tarot Magpie, I'm sure I'm not the only person who has been influenced to purchase the Terra Volatile because of Sylvie. I mean, just look at it. It is, I kind of understand the thing about cardstock now that I've handled this deck. I just think it's some of the most, I know I've already said this about the ritual, but like, this is different. They're all beautiful. I love all my decks. You understand. If you're here, you understand. Yeah, I just think it is staggeringly beautiful and just such a belter to read with. It's like, I quite like decks that are sort of, okay, let's just move through all the majors. They're just, the colours are delicious. These are absolutely my kind of tones. So the cups, the minors are illustrated, like narrative ones, and they're kind of mostly Smith Waite, but there's something about them that's just like a little bit different, and that's kind of my favourite version of a tarot deck, I think, is just like a twist on an established theme. Maybe not entirely its own thing, because then that can just feel a bit exhausting to learn. But yeah, it just kind of feels like a twist on it. It also has, speaking of twists, it also has a whole like additional fucking suit to mix in that's all about like alchemy and things. And yeah, I just think it's gorgeous. But yeah, I'm definitely not alone in Sylvie influencing me to get myself a dinged up copy of Terra Volatile. And then also I was influenced to get Sylvie's tarot zine, which I highly recommend. Please excuse my scabby copy, my printer is on the out. These brilliant little 3-card spreads. And so I keep this tucked into my tarot journal. I had to pull it out So you've got all the information, but I will also be tagging everyone below. But yeah, it's just like a great little zine for if you're feeling a bit like uninspired and like things aren't coming to you the way that you need them to, then you can just like grab one of those little prompts, and it's just really helpful. So next person is a Aiin Time, Cassandra, and again, I'm absolutely sure I'm not alone in this one. Between Cassandra and Sylvie, I mean, so many people must have bought this deck because of them, and hopefully bought it actually from Cassandra's shop, a Aiin Time. I haven't placed an order yet because it's in America, but I am hoping to soon because my birthday is coming up. So yeah, this is just, it's like professed to be a tarot and oracle deck, and it's sort of based in the Thoth system. I've like annotated them with a white jelly roll pen, and it's just so good. It's so good. And you know, it's really lovely that, you know, I can make this video with these 5+ decks and be like, yeah, none of these people steered me wrong. That's not what this video is. I was influenced by 5+ amazing decks that I use all the time. This is quite like, yeah, it's quite spiky, like prickly, but in a way, it's not quite like tough love, because it does feel very like holding and nurturing. But like, yeah, like, don't question your gift. You can imagine any one of these cards saying like, dickhead, afterwards, like, don't question your gifts, dickhead. Don't invite everyone into your castle, dickhead. Be there, dickhead. And I like that. That's the kind of friend that I can be a little bit. No, I may be a bit more soft and gentle and squishy than that. But I appreciate this kind of attitude from, you know, the friend that is the tarot talking to you. And I think that the art is really beautiful. And yeah, I mean, Cassandra has great taste in decks. I love being able to follow kind of the new comings and goings in like the indie tarot world through her. She also just has like, I don't know, just this kind of infectious, I don't know if it's even like kind of optimism, but just kind of joy that radiates from her that I really appreciate. And it's quite funny to say that she inspired this deck, which is not necessarily a joyful deck, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, very grateful to all of these creators and their influences in more than just purchases, but in like ways to see the tarot and life and everything. So final deck is in this half painted bag, which you will remember if you watched the Tarot and Autism video. And this is the Herbcrafters Tarot, which I love these bags so much. So I finally bit the bullet and purchased a secondhand copy of this from a charity shop after it's been sitting on a wish list for ages, because the lovely Tarot is Magic has been doing like a big deep dive into it. And I initially kind of discounted it because a bunch of these plants aren't kind of native, or they don't have, how many upside down ones we've got? We don't, it's not so much that they're not native, but like they don't grow and they don't have like the same symbolism here. And as much as I really love learning about that kind of thing, it feels like a slightly disjointed thing, or it felt that it might be slightly disjointed to introduce into my practice. And I was wrong. It works really beautifully for me. I'm really grateful for the kind of the nudge that Tarot is Magic gave me to pick this up, because loads of them are things that I grow in my garden, or, you know, have in my kitchen or whatever. But I also get the opportunity to learn about new things, and that's part of what I love so much about tarot. And so I don't know why I was being so silly and not doing it, not getting it. Yeah, so many amazing plants that I love so much, and it's great to be able to work with them. And yeah, work in progress bag. Herbcrafters Tarot, inspired by Tarot is Magic. So those are 5+ tarot decks that I've been inspired to buy because of lovely creators here on TarotTube. Some wishlist decks inspired by people on TarotTube. Well, one person on TarotTube, one person on WitchTube, I guess. AB Witch Journal, what a babe, showed the Freeborg's Tarotchi and the expansion on his channel. Ooh, when was that? I can't remember. Maybe like a tarot collection video. And holy smokes, I want that so much. I think Kelly has it also and is using it with the Oracle of the Roses, which I do have, and I use for my love chart map reading things. And yeah, just what a gorgeous deck. What is that? What I'm going to buy myself for my birthday? I don't know. The next video that goes up on this channel is the aspirational tarot kind of wish list video, so I may talk more about it then. Another one that I was introduced to via TarotTube was Chanel on Chanel Days, showed the Tarot Erotique. Oh my god, what an amazing deck. I want it so badly. I know I just said that about the Mr. Freeborg's Tarotchi, but fuck me, it's too good. I think, is it another collage deck with like vintage pin-up stuff, but it's like all kinds of bodies, all just being naked, and and it's all in kind of like gem tones and reds and pinks, and it's just fabulous. And one day it will be mine. So yeah, so that's my things that I've been influenced to purchase by TarotTube, things I may well be influenced to purchase by TarotTube and WitchTube, but also just some people that I love here on the internet, people that I'm really inspired by in more than just the capitalistic sense. This isn't my usual kind of video, but I just wanted to shine some light on some people who make my weeks generally better. Obviously this isn't an exhaustive list. I follow so many people on here, but these were just 5 decks as like a jumping off point. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're taking really good care of yourself. I hope you are staying hydrated, and I'll see you in the next one.